Most people are completely missing where the money is going in AI. Hello, I'm Lynn, and this is Lynn's 10-Minute Alpha, yours 10-minute edge in finding the biggest opportunities. Right now in Silicon Valley, there's a new way people flex wealth. Not cars, not watches, and not even stock options. It's how many tokens you burn every day. Seriously, there's now a term floating around tech circles called token maxing. And the idea is simple. The more AI tokens you consume, the more AI native you are. People are literally bragging about things like, how many agents are you running? What's your token throughput? How many millions of tokens did your workflow burn today? That has become the new status symbol. And behind this trend is a much bigger story. Because what looks like Silicon Valley hype on the surface is actually the beginning of a brand new economic system. A system where tokens are slowly becoming the fuel of the internet and potentially the next major export industry coming out of China. Let me explain. A few months ago, reports leaked that Meta had an internal leaderboard tracking employee AI usage. Over 85,000 employees. And the company was ranking people based on token consumption. The top users were burning through millions of dollars worth of AI compute. That sounds insane. But the logic behind it is actually very important. Big tech companies now believe that if employees are not aggressively using AI, their companies risk falling behind. Uber recently revealed that over 11% of new code changes are now AI generated. 3 months earlier, that number was below 1%. Think about how fast that shift happened. And here's where things get interesting. The more companies adopt AI, the more they realize something terrifying. AI is unbelievably expensive to operate, not expensive to build, expensive to use. That's the part most people still don't understand. In the old SaaS world, software had incredible economics. You built the product once, then you sold it millions of times. Your marginal cost approached zero. That's why software companies became so profitable. But AI changes the equation completely. Every single interaction now creates a live bill. Every prompt, every generated paragraph, every AI coding task, every agent loop, somewhere in the background, tokens are being consumed, and somebody has to pay for them. This is why many AI startups are suddenly panicking about costs. One VC recently complained that after his portfolio company adopted AI coding tools, their operating expenses tripled within months. Not doubled, tripled. Another executive said their entire yearly AI budget was exhausted within just a few months because engineers were using AI tools nonstop. This is the hidden side of the AI boom. People think AI companies print money, some do, but many are quietly bleeding cash through token consumption. And now, tokens are becoming the most important resource in the AI economy. So, what exactly is a token? The easiest way to think about it is this: a token is basically a unit of AI work. Every word you type in, every word the AI generates, every file it reads, every reasoning step it performs, all of that consumes tokens. And here's the part most people don't realize: not all tokens are priced the same. You usually have three categories: input tokens, what you send into the model; cached tokens, previous context the system already remembers; and output tokens, the actual response generated by the AI. And output tokens are often dramatically more expensive, sometimes 6 times more expensive, which creates a very weird economic paradox. The most expensive AI model can actually become the cheapest option. Why? Because strong models solve the task correctly the first time. Cheap models often fail, then retry, then loop, then generate unnecessary context, then require human correction. So your cheap workflow suddenly becomes expensive, especially with AI agents. Because agents don't behave like a simple chatbot, they continuously call tools, reread files, scan logs, update context, generate new prompts, and recursively invoke themselves. That means token consumption can explode exponentially. This is why AI infrastructure companies are now obsessing over one thing: token efficiency, not just intelligence, efficiency. And that brings us to one of the most important shifts happening right now. Chinese AI models are quietly becoming the budget kings of the AI world. And most people in America barely notice it, but developers absolutely do. Because when your workflow burns millions of tokens a day, price suddenly matters a lot. Models from companies like Minimax, Kimi, and Jipu AI are spreading rapidly through the global developer community, not because they're the smartest, but because they're good enough and dramatically cheaper. In some tasks, the cost difference between top Western models and Chinese models can reach 50 times. That changes behavior immediately, especially for startups, because most developers don't actually need genius level reasoning for every task. Sometimes they just need fast, reliable, cheap. And that's where Chinese models suddenly become extremely attractive. A lot of coding workflows today are already evolving into hybrid systems. Use Claude or GPT for high level reasoning, use cheaper Chinese models for execution, and route tasks dynamically depending on complexity. This is becoming one of the hottest trends in AI infrastructure right now. And this creates an entirely new business model. Token arbitrage, think of it like airline pricing or electricity markets or high frequency trading. The end user pays for premium AI. But behind the scenes, companies are constantly switching between different models to minimize costs. Simple tasks go to cheaper models, complex tasks go to expensive ones. The user never notices, but the margin difference becomes massive. And companies that master this routing layer could become incredibly valuable. Because in the future, winning AI may not just be about building the smartest model, it may be about building the smartest routing system, the smartest allocator of tokens, the smartest manager of compute. And once you understand that, you realize something much bigger is happening. When a developer in London uses a Chinese AI model, what physically happens? The request travels through undersea cables, hits a data center somewhere in China. GPS activate, electricity gets consumed. Then the result gets sent back globally through the internet. No physical product crosses a border, but value does. This is why some people are calling it electricity exports. China used to export shirts, then electronics, then EVs. The next export wave might be tokens, because AI has turned electricity, compute, and infrastructure into globally tradable digital commodities. And unlike physical exports, you don't need shipping containers, you just need servers. And bandwidth and power, lots of power. Now, obviously, this entire space still has risks: competition risks, regulation risks, model commoditization, and pricing wars. But the direction feels very clear. We are entering a world where token consumption becomes embedded into daily life, not just for developers, for everyone. And once AI agents become mainstream, token demand could explode to levels we can barely imagine today. Because humans consume tokens slowly, machines consume them infinitely. That changes everything. The AI boom is no longer just about models, it's becoming an economic system, a commodity market, an infrastructure race, and possibly the beginning of an entirely new form of global trade. If you want to stay ahead of where the money's going, like and subscribe. More alpha coming.